During the first 7 days of 2023, we unite around the world to co-create a global field of intention and action for the healing and replenishment of Mother Earth and all her children. Shedding the noise and distractions, we slow down and listen to the whispers of our heart's calling. In sacred space, we attune to the language of essence, the radiance of life shining through our familiar patterns and stories, guiding our way forward. As we follow the path of essence, we reawaken our ancient knowing of how to live with nature as nature. Together, we seed the new year with clarity, courage, and commitment to live lightly and lovingly, cultivating that which is most essential and nourishing for the thriving of all life.
Welcome everyone to day 4. Can you believe it? We've been together every day. Many of you, I see some familiar faces from the first day onward. And if you're just joining us today, welcome. We've been sending the recordings out to everyone. So if you missed one, it'll be available to you. And I also had a request to just make the meditations available, so I'll be doing that as well. So here we are, day 4, and let's just take a minute as we come together right now and with our feet on the ground, bring our awareness into our sweetheart. Every day we're going deeper together, opening our hearts more to let the truth of who we are shine through. So important to take this time to slow down. And as we bring ourselves to the altar of our hearts and give ourselves over and over and over again to love, we naturally come into resonance with the earth and the sun, the cosmos, and the whole of life. Because we're not separate, we're embedded in this symphony we call life. Each of us a unique note, an essential note, and it's time for us to sing our note out loud and proud, soft and sweet, true and clear. And as we relax into presence and we come into resonance with life, we begin to radiate this love naturally out into our environment, out into the world, spreading love and joy wherever we go, even in the face of all we're facing. And that brings us to today, to our exploration of gratitude, which naturally arises as this love begins to radiate out of our hearts and we feel our connection with all things, there's so much to be grateful for. And I brought on two special friends today, Julie Kroll and Justin Michael Williams, to join us to explore this powerful energy that we call gratitude. It's going to be a little different today how we explore this. We're going to really move into some powerful practices today because it's time to start to generate this energy that we've been cultivating and really aliven our hearts and our essence. So I'm going to start with Julie Kroll. Many of you know her. She's been on many pulses. She's an author. She's an evolutionary thought leader. She's the founder of Good of the Whole, the Dr. Julie Show. She's a dear friend and colleague of mine. We've actually joined forces. The Islands of Coherence for the Good of the Whole are going to be launching what we call the Connection Field this year. So we have lots of fun to have together. And she's an expectant grandma. She's there with her daughter right now, waiting for a new baby to be born. So we have that energy in the field with us as well. So welcome, Julie. I'm so grateful that you're here today and look forward to your sharing.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. Yes. The miracle of a new life is so right here, and it's really brought me into this contemplative space thinking about miracles and the miracle zone. So I just want to drop in a few ideas about gratitude.
I'm going to introduce Justin just a little bit first, just because we're going to go
Okay.
from the Global Silent Minute right into his meditation. So I don't want to interrupt that beautiful flow. So
That's okay.
Justin
That's okay.
Michael Williams, you might have seen him one other time on a pulse. He came on with Theo, but he's might be new to our community. So Justin Michael Williams is an award-winning author and Grammy-nominated recording artist. From growing up with gunshot holes outside his bedroom window to sharing the stage with Marianne Williamson and Deepak Chopra, Justin Michael Williams knows well the power of healing to overcome. This dynamic millennial who grew up marginalized in almost every way teaches meditation as a means of self-empowerment to those who need it most, which is all of us. With his groundbreaking new book, Stay Woke, and over a decade of teaching experience, Justin has become a pioneering voice for diversity and inclusion in wellness. And he's going to offer us a powerful meditation and teaching for our theme of gratitude today. So, Justin, Michael, welcome to you. Yeah, blessings to have you. So we'll hear from Justin after our Global Silent Minute, and to start, we'll let Julie share a little bit about gratitude and miracles.
Miracles and staying woke. So Justin, I haven't read your book yet. I plan to. And I know it came out during COVID and interrupted your book tour and what have you. But just when Teresa reminded me of that title, it's kind of where I want to introduce us into gratitude before I introduce a beautiful video for all of us to really receive and experience before the Global Silent Minute. Because it's time. It is time on the planet, and everyone is feeling the shift in 2023. The energy is different. The energy feels just alive with potential and possibility. We're watching as communities are coming together. We're feeling cooperation. We're feeling the gathering, the ingathering. It's like life is now inviting us to stay woke. And this is the miracle zone that I wanted to introduce to you, because I saw, if you are familiar with David Hawkins, he mapped consciousness. And with the map, believe it or not, in a number from 0 to 1,000, 1,000 is enlightenment. 1,000 is this this thing that we've all said for decades. We want to work towards self-actualization, toward enlightenment, toward whatever that woke state is. But at 500, at that level, we hit gratitude, joy, love, and peace. They're not like 700, 800, 900. They all are hovering around that 500. And in my meditation preparing for gratitude today, I saw that as the gateway. Like that 500 zone is like the gateway to the miracle zone, where when we come into gratitude and joy and love, and peace is a little higher, but when we get to that place of gratitude, joy, and love, that vibrational frequency is so close that shifts us into that new state of being, into that miracle zone. And I think it's really important as we begin to focus our gratitude on that higher frequency. So as we're thinking about gratitude today, and I'm looking forward to what Justin Michael is bringing us, it'll be a surprise for me. I want us to really think about bringing gratitude up into that frequency. The video we're going to play is going to remind us to think about the small things in life, the water we drink, the air we breathe, the sunshine that falls on our skin. And I want to invite us to up-level it as well into that miracle zone of that new world we're all creating right here, right now. We might not see that new world yet, but we know it's being born, and our gratitude is creating the conditions for that new world to come forward. So as we focus on gratitude, let's don't go down into the old way of being and think, what do I need? But let's go into that celebration and that gratitude for what we need. Let's keep it focused on unitive consciousness, on the world that we're building. Let's keep gratitude focused on cooperative communities that care for all life and future generations. Let's keep our gratitude focused on the collaboration we're seeing and witnessing everywhere right now. And simply let's keep our gratitude focused on good of the whole. Thinking about everything we're building is for the good of the whole. Coming together and cooperating is for the good of the whole. Unitive consciousness is the expression of good of the whole. So let's keep our gratitude moving up into that miracle zone, into that woke space, and let's stay woke. Let's keep it going, keep it rising into those highest frequencies possible. We all know how to do gratitude, and it feels so good. And we all know how to do those 500 level frequencies that David Hawkins maps. Love, peace, joy. Let's just feel that right now. Feel that gratitude in your heart. Breathe into your heart space. And feel the shift in that frequency. And then just imagine that as we move forward into 2023, we stay in that gratitude and move it up into that miracle zone. We stay in the gratitude, and together we come together and create the conditions for the miracles to come forward, for the world to be built. And we're building it on those 500 and beyond frequencies. We're building this love. We're building this peace. We're building this joy. And we're building this gratitude. And when you think like that, it's real easy to imagine the world that's going to come forward when it's built on love, peace, joy, and gratitude. Isn't that lovely? Isn't it fun to think like that? Like to imagine us not going back to those lower frequencies. Whenever we go back into separation consciousness, now if you've noticed, those 500 and beyond take us into unitive consciousness. Those lower frequencies are in separation consciousness. And most people who visit the Pulse and have been here know what that means. And if you don't, send us an email and we'll get you hooked up so that you understand the difference between unitive and separation consciousness. But these higher states in unity are very different than where we've been in separation consciousness and the world that we've built from the place, the illusion of separation. So we want to stay now in this newer, higher state of being, the highest frequency possible. So this beautiful new reality, this living in this higher state, this frequency, it's more of a beingness. And we really want to bring those new values of cooperation and community forward so that the focus of our gratitude is really on the world we know exists. And yet we're concentrating on building it anew, all the systems and structures. So I want to introduce this video to you that's from our friend Gary Malkin. Gary created this video years ago. I'm not sure the original date of this, but Gary's worked with many thought leaders around the world and put their words to beautiful music and created beautiful videos. And he's been doing this for decades. And this is one of my all-time favorite videos. And you're going to see it. It's kind of an upgrade from the first release with higher resolution. So it's a little bit different, but it's with Brother David Stendal-Rast. And Gary interviewed Brother David, and he talks about gratefulness. And it is so beautiful. And the words, the music that Gary puts with it, the video is just exquisite. So as you watch this video on gratefulness, remember this next phase of us keeping that frequency really high and come into gratefulness, gratitude for the good of the whole. Hey, Kaylin, we're ready.
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now. And the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. look at the sky, we so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. All that life from generations and from so many places all over the world flows together and meets you here like a life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there is electric light. Turn a faucet and there is warm water and cold water and drinkable water. A gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings and let them flow through you. That everyone whom you will meet on this day will be blessed by you, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
I love that, Julie.
So beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's just my favorite.
We have just a few minutes before we bring on Dot. If there's anything you want to share just to close up this segment, and I'll bring Dot in as well.
Well, thank you, Teresa. Thank you for bringing me on today, and I love the topic of gratefulness and gratitude, and it's just an honor to be here in this room with so many beautiful people. And I just think of the invitation being deeper, wider, farther, higher. Like, let's do this in 2023, right? Let's use that energy and essence of gratitude to really propel us forward. So we'll stay woke, we'll be in that miracle zone, and we'll do this together. And what a beautiful way to do it with a global silent minute as well. And so grateful for Dot and what she's been bringing every day of the 7 days of rest and return to essence. It's so beautiful.
Gratitude, Julie Crow. Make sure you read the chat. You are being loved up and appreciated. So,
I can never read. I can't function like that. I can't read the chat and stay focused. So
I'm telling you, from my heart to yours, Yeah, so much love in this sacred circle and so much gratitude. Thank you for helping all of us to raise our own frequency.
Beautiful. So we'll head into our global silent minute, and from there we'll have just that little bit of silence and pause, and then Justin Michael Williams will take us into a beautiful meditation and really powerful teaching on gratitude. So Dot, I'm so excited that every day that we have been doing the Global Silent Minute, and I really want to encourage us all to continue after these 7 days to take this time out and pause in the power of silence. And thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Gratitude, Teresa. You are a master weaver in the light. Today is day 4 of 7 days of rest and return to essence, and gratitude is our theme. In Agni Yoga, it is said, great is the healing power of the emission of gratitude. And with gratitude in our community field of heart coherence, in unitive consciousness, we radiate the love and peace and joy through the one heart as our hearts unite across distance, both sides of the veil, for the good of the whole. During our global coherence pulse, we observe the exact same minute of silence as action in sacred unity, with millions, both sides of the veil, as we come to rest in the knowing and healing balm of essence. Take just a moment, take a deep breath. Let us come to rest in the knowing and healing balm of essence with a deep sense of gratitude. The Global Silent Minute was inspired by the original Big Ben Silent Minute. That silent minute at 9 p.m. daily helped to end World War II. In these times, we offer our daily 9 p.m. GMT Global Silent Minute to bring an end to all war, to bring peace to humankind and all life, as we call for global cooperation, peace, and freedom. The power of silence is greater than we know. Just 2 concordant thoughts increases the power by 7. It is in silence that we experience unity. Silence as action in sacred unity. So let us prepare to enter a global silent minute. With a deep breath, we activate the spirit of peace in our own hearts. And we unite our fiery hearts across distance. Now, we take a very intentional moment and we invite all those on the other side of the veil, an army of goodwill, which is love in action, to join us. The next thing you will hear is a Tibetan singing bowl as we distribute the healing power of gratitude.
So if you're comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to do so and place one hand over the center of your chest and the other hand on top of that if it feels good to you. And I'd love for everybody to just take one full deep breath in and a deep breath out. And with me to the count of 3, inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold the breath out for 1, 2. Again, inhale deeply together. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold it out for 1, 2. Last time. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold it out for 1, 2, and 3. And just breathe normally. And think about something you have to be grateful for about your own self in this moment. Maybe it's a way you've shown up for yourself, a lesson you've learned, something you've committed to, anything about yourself. Your body, your heart. And if you have multiple things, you can just let them keep coming. And now I'd like you to think about something you have to be grateful for outside of yourself. So all of these objects of consciousness outside of the individual self, from people to places, experiences. Now think of something you have to be grateful for. Maybe there are many things that come as gifts from whatever you call the divine, by whatever name it goes by that connects you to that something sacred. Maybe it's synchronicities, the gift of new life. And now something that you have to be grateful for from someone who came before you. Maybe an ancestor, a parent, a spiritual leader, someone whose shoulders you're standing upon to have the gift of living this life that we get to live today. For so many of us, we're the first generation in some time to even be able to consider things like mental health or manifesting or fulfilling our purpose. So many who've come before us have set the stage, and we are the manifestation of their songs and their prayers of many of the ancestors who came before us. And now we get to sing our songs and live our prayers, setting the manifestation for the generations to come. And so may the connection from our heart center of gratitude, of love, lead the way as we step forward into this new dawn of humanity. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I would love for you to open your eyes and just fill the chat box with a few things that came to mind for you in that gratitude practice. Just type into the chat anything that you feel like sharing, and we'll have a waterfall cascade of gratitude going through the chat. I will look for them to come through. Jane, your husband, your teachers, Carol, your family and grandchildren, Teresa, for this community. I'm grateful for this community as well. Mindy, aloha. Clara, your parents, your kitties, Teresa, your great niece, Laramie, Tammy, countless, numberless people who've created all the objects around you, Gail, Stefan, this group. Immense beauty all around, Kate, Tom, Yeshua, Allison, grateful for continuing growth. Oh, thank you so much, Gloria. Trees, Mindy, Michelle, everybody. I see you can keep them coming through. And this is just so beautiful. You can see the texture. So I'm so grateful to be here in this community. I've got to like kind of sneak my way in one time with Theo doing some music. And now it's great to officially be here with you all in this way. And again, my name is Justin Michael Williams. And as I think about the story of someone who's come before me, it just inspired me to tell a little story to you all that will connect into this gratitude teaching and practice that we'll get to do together. And so the story that I think of when I think of gratitude is my grandmother. And in my family, we call my grandmother Baka. And it's not because it's a special word, it's just because I was a weird little kid. And anyone who has kids or grandkids know, like when you're trying to teach a kid to say words, my family would say, Justin, say grand. And I would say grand. And they would go, say ma. And I would say ma. And they would go, say grandma. And I would say Baka. And so she became Baka. But fast forward, we all learned that actually Baka means grandma in Serbian, Croatian, and a few other languages. So I think my 1-year-old self had some connections happening there that nobody else knew in our family. And so I share this with you because about a decade ago, my Baka, who I was very close to, got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and the doctors told her she only had a couple months to live. And it was a huge shock to our entire family, and one of these moments that none of us in the moment could figure out how to be grateful for. And it's gratitude in the moments when things are challenging that gratitude actually becomes its most powerful. And when it actually cracks us open into a new state of love and being. And so I flew home to be with my grandmother when I got the news. And I walked into the house and she asked me a question that literally changed the trajectory of my entire life. She looked at me and she said, if you were in my shoes and you knew you were going to die in 2 months, what would you do? And I looked at her and I said, what? Like, I was like, what are you even talking about? I mean, I'm not dying. I mean, I guess we're all dying, but hopefully I'm dying slower than you, you know? And she just said, get quiet, get still, and listen. Put your hands over your heart, close your eyes. And what she really said, if you knew my Baka, she said, and don't you dare open your lips until you're ready to tell me the truth. And so I closed my eyes and I put my hands over my heart and I was just cracked wide open. And she said it again, if you were in my shoes and you knew you were going to die in 2 months, what would you do? And I felt this well of emotions just come like rushing out of me. And I just blurted out, I would quit everything I'm doing and I would record an album. I would do music. And my Baka looks at me and she goes, I know. She goes, baby, I know. And the thing is, I had always wanted to do music ever since I was a little kid, but I never thought I was good enough. I let all the kids who teased me and bullied me at school, I got bullied a lot about being gay, about being different, make me think I sucked at everything, and I stopped myself. I let growing up, like Teresa shared, I grew up in a pretty marginalized neighborhood with actual gunshot holes on our house. I let growing up in that circumstance dictate what I thought was realistic and possible for someone like me. And my grandma looked at me in that moment and she said, it's time to play a bigger game. It's time to stop running away from your past and instead run toward what you love. And so right now, this is the gift that I have to offer you in this time. And so she made me close my eyes and she said, tell me, you promise me you'll record an album. And I looked at her and I said, I've never written a song. She goes, I don't care. I said, I don't play any instruments. I don't care. I haven't sung since high school. I don't care. Promise me you'll do it. And so I closed my eyes and I said, I promise. And she knew what she was doing because I wouldn't have broken a promise to her while she was here and definitely not while she's everywhere. And so I promised her I would do it. Fast forward, 4 years later, after a lot of shadow work, a lot of therapy, a lot of moving through fear, I ended up putting out my first album that ended up charting in the top 20 of the iTunes pop charts next to Britney Spears and Taylor Swift and Barbara Streisand, which was on there really randomly. And now I'm nominated for a Grammy Award. And this was a dream that I thought was impossible. And the reason I'm sharing this with you today, after being able to write a book on this work and doing lots of things, is because, not to brag, but it's because I know that we all have that dream inside of us, whether it's about the relationship we want to deepen or opening up to deeper vulnerability and connection in our lives, whether it's about making an impact in the world or getting better with our money or having better self-care or taking care of our body, or it's an artistic project or a business idea or something you're looking to do in the next stage of your life. And sometimes we tell ourselves, that dream that I have, that dream, not for me. I'm not sure. Because it's not realistic, it's not possible. I'm too fat, too old, too ugly, too gay, not good enough, waited too long, should have done it before I had kids, don't have enough money. Does this sound familiar to anybody here? This story? Okay, so we all have these things that we're looking to take to the next level in our lives. And for me, the mission of a lot of my work is to help spread some of Baca's wisdom out into the world. And so this opportunity that we have to use our gratitude is not just to use our gratitude to be grateful, but to use our gratitude to elevate our frequency to a level that we can step in to who it is that our souls are meant to be on this planet at this time. So that when we continue to step into our power and dream the dreams that feel bigger than we're able to dream, that the next generation gets to stand on our shoulders when we become the ancestors of this time. Are you with me all on this one? So this is the power of what we get to do together in this space and the power of what gratitude has to do for us. And this is why, I've had the absolute gift now. I'm so grateful to now, for those of you who are wondering how old I am, because I know people ask this question, I am 34. I'll be 35 next month. This happened with my grandma when I was about 23. And I've had the gift now over the last decade of teaching and speaking and put out my first book, which sounds true. I've now taught at Google and 40 countries around the world. And my mission in my work and what I've really dedicated my life to is learning how do we use these practices, these spiritual practices that have saved my life, that has truly saved my life, to not just feel good and elevate our vibe, but use that vibration to then direct it towards action in our lives and in the world so that it comes into the 3D in a very direct and clear way. And so if you're with me, that's my hope of how I can help apply gratitude with you all today. It's one of my favorite teachings. So I want to thank all of you, Teresa and the whole crew, for inviting me in to share in this space. So I'll tell you something that I do in my community when I'm teaching online, and it would just make this really fun for us. So one of the things that I do in the chat box, because this chat's a really powerful and active way to raise the frequency. And one thing that's missing when we're on Zoom is kind of the reactions from our little yeah, oh, I'm with you. And I see you all nodding your heads and stuff in gallery view. But one of the things that I do is if you hear me say anything or anyone else say anything in the next few minutes that makes you want to say yeah, I'm with you. I got you. I love this. Amen. Or clap your hands. You just put the number 1 in the chat box a whole bunch of times like this. And you could do it at any time throughout. If you hear me say a quote, or if you hear anything, or you have something that you want to echo or a golden nugget you want to highlight, you type that in. So this is where I would say, Global Coherence Pulse, make some noise, everybody. And if you were here in person, you put your ones in the chat box and I would see all of your ones. There we go. Nikita, Leslie, Rowena, Karen. Okay, you feel it, right? Do you feel it? So now we're here because it's not a TV show, right? So all throughout, feel free to keep that coming if there's anything that makes you want to activate or, wake up in this way. And if it's distracting to you, forget about it, right? Only if it feels good. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the 4 types of gratitude. And what you should know about me is I'm half very woo. I love the woo woo. I got my crystals on, did all the prayers. I know you all are with me on this, so I don't have to say that. And I'm a half neuroscience, psychoeducation nerd. I love geeking out on the science and the research. I've done tons of work with the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley to learn how, spirituality and science are really answering the same questions about life, but just asking them a little bit differently. And so everything that I'm talking to you about today is science-backed and also doesn't need to be because it's been in spiritual practices for millennia. And so I just want to let you know that there's science behind everything that I'm teaching you today. And you can look up a lot of this science very easily if you just search some of the gratitude studies. So I want to talk to you about the 4 types of gratitude. And before I do that, what's really important is that we understand what gratitude is not. What gratitude is not. Because I find that we throw around this word gratitude often in our communities, like, oh, I'm grateful, gratitude, without really kind of with it being entangled with a few other things. And so gratitude does not mean you should always be happy. Gratitude does not mean ignoring the things that need to change in our lives or the problems that we have. Gratitude does not give us permission to spiritually bypass our difficult emotions or situations. Gratitude should not be used as a weapon. And what I mean by that is, oh, something bad is happening in someone's life, and you say, well, you should be grateful that this, right? Well, you should be grateful because this is something that's happening somewhere else in the world. So you should be so grateful. And so, but we hear this, I know you all have heard this happen at times, right? And so we want to be careful not to use gratitude in this way, because in that way it's shutting a frequency down versus raising it up. Gratitude is not reconciliation necessarily or condoning. It's not forgetting. It's not excusing. It's not forgiveness. It's not minimizing our hurt and pain. And the reason why I say that is because things happen in life, things happen in the world, right? And what we have to constantly look at is making sure that the gratitude that we have is grounded in reality, because that allows us to see clearly. And this is what staying woke is all about, is seeing clearly, not putting rose-colored glasses on and pretending everything is yay, right? None of the studies of the science of gratitude ask people to do that. They ask them to look at the challenges in the world, to look at the real situation that's happening in your life and find the situation there. And so I'll never forget, my grandmother, who I was very close to, I had gone through a big breakup with one of my exes in college. Huge breakup. He cheated on me. It was terrible. And I go to my grandma, I'm crying, crying, crying. Oh my God, he cheated on me. And she goes, first words to me, she goes, be thankful. And at that time I didn't understand, what? What do you mean be thankful? And she goes, a quote that she had gotten from Maya Angelou, God put a rainbow in every cloud. Be grateful. Don't ignore the cloud, but God put a rainbow in every cloud. And so I want to talk to you about the 4 types of gratitude. And I'll ask you to type these in the chat box for me because it'll help you remember them, and you can also take notes. They're very simple. It's kind of a little catchy way to remember them. Gratitude in, gratitude out, gratitude up, and letting go. Gratitude in, gratitude out, gratitude up, and letting go. Can you all type that in the chat box for me? Yeah, gratitude in, gratitude out, gratitude up, and letting go. And I'll talk a little bit about them, and then we'll do a very short, we did a little experience of it already, but I'll do a short little experience with you before we close out. So gratitude in is about yourself and the ways that you've shown up for yourself, your goals, your growth, being grateful for your body, for you. And we sometimes skip this in our gratitude practices. We're grateful for all these things and these circumstances around us. But starting with gratitude in is a really powerful place to be and helps to raise your frequency. Gratitude out is, I think, what many of us are used to when we think of gratitude practices. Things that you're grateful for outside of yourself. For example, your house or your friends or your job or the water or how people have supported you and shown up for you. Gratitude up, we did this, is that connecting into whatever it is that you consider your higher power or sacred. It's recognizing nature, the awe of a beautiful sunset. As you look around, realizing that all of life comes from this something greater. And I know this community has tapped into this deeply, so I don't have to talk about this very much. And then a powerful one that we get to come to from this place is letting go. And letting go is about really trusting in understanding that there is a bigger plan for your life than you could ever imagine for yourself. And so once I've gone through this gratitude, where in my life am I gripping a little bit? And how can I let go of that grip? How can I just let go of that grip into the arms and into the grace of gratitude? And so this is where the gratitude then comes into your life, because you get to look at, okay, where am I gripping? Where am I worried? Where am I concerned? And how can I open my hands to know and trust that there is something bigger, something greater here for me that I may not even see yet? Now, there's one element here in the science that I want to make sure you all have that we skip. And this is why, if y'all can be really honest with me, how many of you have tried to do a gratitude journal or a daily gratitude practice, lasted for maybe a week, 2, 3, and then dropped, fell off? Anybody? You can raise your hands. Yeah, I see you shaking your hands. Yes, okay, this is very common. And the reason for this is because what the studies require, or say that is required, is for you to be specific about something you have to be grateful for that day. So what happens with gratitude practices is we get bored because we're like, you can only say I'm grateful for the water and I'm grateful for my house so many times before you're bored with it. It's just, we're humans, right? And so what the science encourages us to do is to speak specifically about something you have to be grateful for that day, or if it's a morning practice, the day prior. So I'm talking like this. I'm so grateful that when I walked into the house, my niece ran up and hugged me and gave me a kiss. I'm so grateful that when I walked outside today, that the leaves were turning this beautiful golden color. That's the level of specificity that you want to go to with your gratitude practice. And this is what tunes our nervous system to wake up and look at the world differently because we have specificity. So that golden rule is really important with your gratitude practices. Specific, specific. Not, I'm grateful for my life, I'm grateful for my health. You can do that for a day or two, but specific, okay? What are you grateful for in your life at this moment? What are you grateful for about your health today, now, right now? And that's the power of stepping into a gratitude practice. So if you all don't mind, I would love to do just a very quick scan through this, and you'll get an experience of this because it takes about 90 seconds to do this practice. You can do it at any time in your day to elevate your vibration. Let's give it another try. Yeah? All right. Hands over the center of your chest. Close your eyes. The reason I have you do this, obviously it connects to the heart, but scientifically it releases oxytocin into the body, which helps us feel a little more connected to that state of gratitude. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and take a long exhale out. And now, start by gratitude in. Be specific. Gratitude out. You can think of as many things as you can in this short moment of silence. Gratitude up. The synchronicities, the divine. Maybe you even open your eyes and look at something out your window. And now letting go. Where in your life are you gripping? How can you soften even 5% more into this state of gratitude and grace? And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So I hope you feel the difference with this specificity, and that it's a practice that you can take with you now for the rest of your life to drop in at any moment on a hike, with your kids, with anybody, to these 4 types of gratitude and specificity. As I close this, I think, back to my grandmother. And at that time in my life, it was really hard to find gratitude for what was happening. And now I look back and although her passing was one of the most challenging clouds I had gone through at that point in my life, that it had the most beautiful rainbow. And her passing actually gave me one of the greatest gifts of my life, which was to truly be alive, truly be living my soul's purpose. And I really hope and pray for that for all of you as well. So thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for having me today. And now I'm putting ones in the chat box too. Thank you.
Oh, that was so great. Let's give them a bunch of ones and some sparkles. I love this. Somebody's giving you rainbows.
Oh,
I'm going to add Julie and Dot back in as well. Thank you, all of you, for such your beautiful contributions today. You can tell we were all so grateful today. We could feel it. We were just like pouring love onto each other for all of the gifts that were offered. And I think it was just the perfect, perfect day. So everybody in the community, let's send our love and gratitude to these friends who have shared so much with us today from their heart, from their joy, from their love. I loved your story about your grandmother, Justin. I got to be with my dad when he passed, and he was kind of the same way. He was ready to go. It was just time, right? And it was like the most blissful experience I've ever had was the passing of my father, you know, and sometimes that's really how it comes. So before we go to some music, and don't leave before we have this beautiful song by Justin Michael Williams. It's a video that we're going to play of his. I want to share how you can stay connected to Dr. Julie, Dot, and Justin has a special offering that's launching in just a few days on January 9th. So I want you to know about that. And then we'll have some music, and then those that would like to stick around can have a little time in our community breakout. So let's start. Kaylin, you can bring up the Global Silent Minute website. I don't think we've showed that this time, Dot, and that way people can see that they can go there and they can learn about how to stay connected to the Global Silent Minute. I love that you have this here so we will know that you're participating in it, but every day this is happening. Tell us more about the Global Silent Minute and how we can be involved.
So yeah, every day, whether you choose to come on live to Facebook or through Zoom, if we're doing an event like this, take 1 minute of silence at 4 p.m. New York, 9 p.m. GMT. And we link hearts across distance, both sides of the veil. And as we have said many times now, the power of silence is greater than we know. And as we up this frequency, gratitude to all who are participating in the Global Silent Minute as we build together the new era. GlobalSilentMinute.org. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Dot. And you could go to your next tab, the 7 Days of Rest, just to remind everyone that there is a larger global initiative happening, and there is a calendar of events besides ours. Thousands, maybe millions of people around the world are taking this time in these first 7 days to really drop into a deeper connection with their own essence, with their heart, and choosing that this is the year that we're going to express our full love and joy and gifts into the world, as Justin Michael was inviting us. Like, this is the time to live the life you came here to live. So if you want to have some other offerings to dive into, please check it out. And Dr. Julie Kroll, gosh, there's so much, Julie, that you're doing. You just relaunched the Dr. Julie Show, which is pretty exciting. And you have some other shows coming up, and we're launching the Connection Field. I wonder if you want to share some things about what you have going on.
Well, thank you. To be brief with the time here, there is so much happening and emerging just in like layers and layers of the collective community that's been gathering. So stay connected and watch for some of those things that are happening as literally the network continues to build. The superorganism is, like Barbara Marx Hubbard used to say, the noosphere is getting its eyes, but it's also got the heartbeat, and it's got hands and feet now that are working together. So here we go. So those are just some of my offerings on juliekrull.com. goodofthewhole.org will soon be under construction as the connection field comes forward with so many of your favorite offerings, and a way that your community can find itself so much more efficiently. So we're coming together to share resources, to share offerings, to share community, and just stay tuned with the Global Coherence Pulse or goodofthewhole.org, and you're going to hear more and more. Or you could sign up for my email, and you'll get that as well. Real easy at juliekrull.com to stay connected and watch for announcements of things coming really, really soon. Thanks, Teresa.
Yeah. I'm excited. We were talking about Dot and her doing the silent hour, the silent minute, and bring on guests for peace. That'll be really fun. And let's go to the next tab for Justin's 40 days of transformation. If you found Justin's sharing and teaching to be powerful today, there's an opportunity to spend some time with him. And I think it's really powerful with these young leaders, giving us some new tools. So Justin, do you want to talk about this exciting offer? I watched the video. I encourage you all to check it out. Watch the video. We just, tell us more about it.
Thank you. Of course. Thank you. So the 40-day program, for anybody who wants to join, and I just put something in the chat that I just had my team put together for you all, which is I wanted to offer you all a discount to come in if you'd like to. So what you should know is this program is a big invitation from my heart. We've done it for 4 years. We do it at the beginning of the year, every year, with hundreds of people from all over the world, of all ages, all backgrounds. And I think the coolest invitation is you're in the most diverse community you could ever imagine, of age, race, sexuality. Our age range last time was 19 to 87. And from all over the world, from Australia, China, everywhere. And what you're doing very simply is you're coming together for 40 days. You get an audio guided practice that you just plug into your ears for 40 days. And we have live sessions every Monday that walk you through getting clear on what it is that you really want to take to the next level in your life, and how to move through the shadow work so that we can start taking action to really do it. It's a deep program. And if you just go to justinmichaelwilliams.com/transform, I got these 2 codes created for you, Manifest 23. So the program is $597, but with those codes, you're going to get $300 off. So it's for $297.
Wow.
And that'll be available to you all for the rest of the day. And Manifest 23 PP is if you choose the payment plan option, because we like to make it accessible. The last thing that I'll say about this is if you don't want to participate, we run this all through my foundation called the Dream Bigger Foundation, and you could even give a tax-deductible scholarship that allows us to let people in need support and be a part of this program. So thank you all so much for having me. I hope to connect with you more on the path here.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for offering this code and giving everybody an opportunity to work more deeply with you. I think it's a powerful offering, and I'm so grateful that we got to have you with us today. Beautiful. Well, we're coming to the end of our main session, but we do have some music from Justin Michael Williams. So while maybe you're checking out the site, you can enjoy this. It's a song called I'm Enough. Julie decided to bring it forth, and she's been singing it the whole time. And I think you'll find that you'll leave the call today and you'll be singing this song, we guarantee. And do you want to say anything about this particular song, Justin?
I think the music will speak for itself. You all can go for
Okay.
it.
All
Thank
right.
you. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's enjoy this. Okay.
Little boy, don't cry. You've been in pain enough, enough. Little girl, don't fight. You finally say enough, enough. One day I'll look into your eyes, show you you don't need to hide behind disguise. Spread your wings, you're terrified. Don't be afraid, you're born to fly. I'm by your side. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. Ooh, oh, yeah. I am enough. I am enough. Ooh, oh, yeah. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. Little girl, it's alright. You've taken the blame. Enough. Little boy, don't hide. You've been ashamed. Enough. One day I'll look into your eyes, show you you don't need to hide behind disguise. Spread your wings, you're terrified. Don't be afraid, you're born to fly. I'm by your side. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough.
This is your moment, baby. This is your time. Don't hold back anymore. I'm ready for you to let go. I'm ready for you to stand up. If you're ready to stand up, if you're ready to say yes to your dream, if you're ready to say yes to what you were put on this earth to do, I want you to put your hands up and say, yes, let's go.
I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. You are enough. You are golden, baby. You are enough. You are enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough.
Oh, I love that so much. I remember the first time we got to hear that with you and Theo. It was so much fun to have you guys sing that live for us. And thank you again, everyone. Let's give some love to Julie and Dot and Justin, also Kaylin, who's behind the scenes, always making everything roll so smoothly. Kaylin, thank you so much. We love you. And if you'd like to stay and hang out a little bit into a breakout group, please do. Otherwise, take this joy, take this love, take this teaching, take this time out into your day and shine it out